Hello, good people. Let us once again recall mysterious stories from the recent past. Rains of blood, colored snowfalls, hailstorms of frogs, mussels, and lizards, blocks of ice and stone crosses falling from the sky, lightning that chooses its victims. The incredible Fortean phenomena, Timberville, Virginia, USA, March 7, 1996. At 8:45 p.m., a block of ice the size of a basketball crashes onto the roof of a house, pierces the ceiling, and falls into the living room, frightening the family gathered in front of the television. Hearing the crash, neighbors rush outside to see what has happened when another block of ice falls from the sky in front of dozens of witnesses. There are no victims. Some eyewitnesses recall that a hailstorm of massive ice blocks had fallen over the area back in 1976. The official explanation is that it was frozen water leaking from the tank of a passing airplane, although according to local aviation authorities, no aircraft had flown over the area. The evening sky was clear and calm. In 1963 in Vienna, lightning selectively struck the football players of only one of the teams playing. In 1962, the streets of London were flooded by a foul-smelling sticky rain. In 1973, Professor R.S. Griffiths from the Faculty of Physics at the University of Manchester witnessed a similar natural anomaly in England. After a strong flash of lightning, a huge block of ice shattered on the road in front of him. Griffiths collected the fragments of the celestial iceberg, placed them in the university's refrigeration chambers, and examined them, documenting the strange event as a Fortean phenomenon. An exceptionally bright aurora over the Antarctic regions was photographed in May 1991 by the astronauts aboard the spacecraft Discovery. The base of the aurora was located about 100 kilometers high. In 1962, lightning struck some of the jockeys during a horse race in New Jersey. What are Fortean phenomena? Experts define this term as all extraordinary physical events and natural mysteries for which science still has no explanation. The phenomena are called Fortean, after one of the pioneers of unconventional research, Charles Fort. And it is precisely with Fort that we must become acquainted before encountering the wide range of cases related to the subject. The investigator of mysterious events, Charles Hoy Fort, was born in 1874 in New York. Adventurous by nature, in his youth he traveled around the world, devoted to his hobby of cataloging the mysteries of nature. Later he returned to his native city, married, began working as a journalist, and lived in a poor district of the Bronx. In 1916, he received an unexpected inheritance and concentrated all his efforts on his unusual passion: to search the world press for reports about unique facts and events that science could not explain. In public libraries, he made more than 45,000 extracts about phenomenal natural events summarized in his books: The Book of the Damned, 1901, Die New Lands, 1923, 1931, Wild Talents, 1931. In them he did not attempt to explain the mysteries, but simply reported them as accurately as possible. In a certain sense, he was a chronicler of the unknown, a curious publicist whose thirst for unique events never faded, a man who challenged science's monopoly on truth and defended the right of every person to think with their own mind. Among the natural mysteries cataloged by Fort and his followers are rains of blood, rains of fish and insects, colored snowfalls, hailstorms of objects and animals, unexplained disappearances and teleportations, light mysteries, ball lightning, and thousands of atmospheric anomalies. The so-called incredible rains, considered the classic Fortean phenomena, range from soil mud and unknown muddy substances falling from the sky to falling fish, birds, and animals, as well as hailstorms of objects, ice blocks, and stones. Fort, for example, gives data about pyramid-shaped granite blocks falling from the sky in Mexico, rains of stone crosses in the state of Georgia, and rains of living creatures. In its issue of July 30, 1838, The Times reported that during a strong storm in London, thousands of frogs fell from the sky. In Scientific American of July 12, 1873, there is also a report of a rain of thousands of frogs in Jefferson City, Missouri. In 1874, Cambridge experienced a rain of ants, and in 1892, a rain of mussels fell over a German village. There are thousands of testimonies of unusual rains throughout the entire 20th century. Swarms of animals falling from the sky have been recorded. Fish, frogs, mussels, snails, mice, lizards, birds, and insects, some still alive, others dead or even frozen. Scientists try to explain the phenomena as the result of tornadoes and whirlwinds, but the hypothesis has not yet been proven. The most likely explanation for colored rains and snowfalls is probably connected with microorganisms or with the mixing of rain and snow with colored desert sand carried over long distances by strong winds. In 1962, a dense, sticky blue rain with a foul smell fell over a large area on the outskirts of London, creating many problems for people in the streets. In the spring of 1973, pink mud rained from the sky and covered the roads of the Italian region of Piedmont. It was assumed to be dust and sand from the Sahara mixed with stagnant water. A similar muddy rain fell again in 1980 in large parts of the Alps, and in 1988 a 25-centimeter red snowfall fell over the Apennine Peninsula. Scientists blamed a microorganism lifted by the wind into the snow cloud and then deposited on the ground, causing superstitious fear among the population. Blue and yellow snowfalls have also been recorded, and in the late 1940s, multicolored snow fell over Yosemite State Park in California. In almost all cases, the phenomenon was eventually explained scientifically, but that did not diminish its spectacular nature. Among the most mysterious Fortean phenomena are ball lightning, spheres of electricity and light that materialize out of nowhere and begin an unpredictable dance close to the ground. If touched, these bubbles of concentrated energy can explode in a powerful blast, but more often they simply circle around us a few times and suddenly disappear. Ball lightning has no direct connection with storms or known atmospheric disturbances and will remain a great mystery for a long time because it is rare and cannot be experimentally studied under controlled laboratory conditions. More common are phenomena related to the strange behavior of ordinary lightning. In May 1963, during a football match between the teams Wind FC and Karasik in Vienna, a powerful lightning bolt branched over the field and struck only the players wearing red jerseys. The footballer Rudolf Wiederman died, and 4 other team members were burned. A year earlier, a similar tragedy occurred in Oceanport, New Jersey, during a horse race, where 7 jockeys located at different positions in the racing group were struck by lightning. And to the question of whether intelligent lightning might exist, Fort would probably have answered, "Why not?"